Cisco Certified Network Associate Day 17. Welcome back everybody, I'm Imran Rafa, your trainer for this entire series. Today we're going to look at a review of what we have done in this entire series so far, and we will look at what we're going to learn in the remaining videos in this series. So we will make use of Cisco materials. We will go to Cisco's website and learn what we're going to learn and how much we have covered so far. Before we go any further, I would ask you to once again subscribe if you have not yet, and I would thank all those people who have already subscribed to our channel. Right, so let's get straight into today's video. All right, go into Cisco's website by going to www.cisco.com. Then on the top navigation pane, click on Training and Events, and then click on Cisco Certification on the right popular links. Right. Now this page gives you a snapshot of all the certifications given by Cisco. So we have different levels. So we have the entry level, associate level, professional level, expert level, and the architect level. The entry level has certifications like the CCNA and the CCT, that is Cisco Certified Entry Network Technician. So you can click on any of those and it will tell you what it is. So this is CCENT, that is Cisco Certified Entry Network Technician, CCENT, and you'll see that it does not have any prerequisite. Now, to become a CCENT, you have to write this exam. That's 100-101 ICND1, right? And then you get a CCENT certification, right? So that is CCENT. Now similarly, you have different associate level. Under associate level CCNA, you have different specialization, right? Then you have professional level, CCNP, again specializations. You have expert levels and you have architect levels. CCNA, when you say CCNA, generally you mean Cisco Certified Network Associate Routing and Switching. Right? So when you just say CCNA, normally anybody saying CCNA refers to routing and switching. So routing and switching deals with Cisco routers and switches, right? So it's the very basic of what Cisco represents. So if you want to do many courses, let's say for instance CCNA security, the prerequisite is any valid CCENT, that is the 100-101 paper that we discussed earlier, or Cisco Certified Network Associate Routing and Switching, right? So routing and switching, or CCNA RNS, forms base for a lot of certifications in the CCNA series, right? So similarly, if you want to do professional level, so if you want to do CCNP RNS, you need to have CCNA RNS. So if you want to do CCNA security, you need to have a CCNA or a CCENT exam. And if you want to do CCNP security, you need to have a CCNA security, right? CCNA security is required. So CCNA routing and switching forms the basic of a lot of things. Now, earlier, CCNA used to be a one exam. So you only had, I think it was the 640-802 exam. So you only had to write that one exam and then you could become a CCNA. When CCNA the syllabus was updated a few years ago, Cisco said, okay, people who want to do one exam, that's fine, you can still do that. But a lot of people were coming from a non-technical background. So Cisco said, to make it easy for people coming into technology, they said, you could become a CCNA by writing two exams. So what they did is took that whole syllabus, broke it into two. So you made ICND1, right? If you remember this paper, 100-101 ICND1, this is the same paper that makes you a CCENT, right? So you could write that exam, and then you write one more exam, that's 200-101 ICND2. You write these two exams, you become a CCNA, right? So that's why it says this or these two together. And this does not have any prerequisite like we discussed. So you could write one exam, and that exam is also known as the CCNAX, that is ICND accelerated program. So you can do that one exam, or you do the two. Now, if you ask about cost, to write this one exam, 200-120 CCNA, Cisco charges you, I think, $295. And these exams each cost you $150. So basically 150 and 150, that's $300, and this is $295. So it's just $5 extra. But what happens is it's more easy, especially for someone who's just doing Cisco exams for the first time. It's much more easier to manage an ICND1 first and then an ICND2 rather than going straight and doing the CCNA. But then it's up to you. It's your choice what you want to do. If it was to me, I would obviously recommend going this path. So do the ICND1 exam first and then do the ICND2 exam, because at the end of the day, you are going to be awarded with the CCNA certification, right? So it shouldn't really make much of a difference. Now, so let's click on this exam, see what's the prerequisite. We looked at it earlier, but let's do it again. This exam, what are the topics you have? So we will look at the topics, but before we look at the topic, I need to tell you how do we write this exam. So if you want to do your Cisco exam, you need to register with Pearson VUE. So if you can click here, Pearson VUE, it will take you to the vue.com/Cisco, right? And you can register. So create an account, register and sign in, and then you can search for the exam. You know this exam code, that is 100-101 ICND1. Search for that exam. Look for the dates that's available, look for the centers that's close by to your place, and register a time, and then you can pay online. Once you do that, you can go and write the exam from there. You can also find the test center. So you want to know, and VUE test centers are available everywhere. I don't think so there's any place, even a small village, I think will have one VUE center, right? So you shouldn't, maybe I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there are places where there are no centers, but I personally haven't seen any, right? So you can search for any city. You know, let's do Coventry. By the way, I studied in Coventry in West Midland. So let's say Coventry, UK. Let's see what's there in Coventry. And Coventry is relatively a small town in the UK. And yeah, see, even Coventry, you have so many test centers. So you can just keep doing display more, and you can see there are so many test centers. So they're going to see the closest is 0.4 miles, right? And then that's in Coventry, and then there's in Birmingham, 16 miles you have in Birmingham. There are a couple of more centers in Birmingham, right? So it'll keep telling from where you are. It'll tell you what is the closest, and then if you don't have dates there, you can look at the next best and next best, next best. You can go choose a center, and you can write the exam. So once you choose a center, schedule a time, go write the exam, and it is going to be. So what's the exam going to be like? So exam is going to be multiple choice questions. So you have multiple choice questions. You'll have a question, and you'll have 4 options. Choose an option. Sometimes you'll say more than one option. So it's very easy. You know, it's computer based thing. So I think today everybody is computer literate. So it's going to be very easy. It's just that you need to know, and of course you need to do a lot of practice before you go do the exam. You need to do a lot of practice because time management is very critical. So you only have 90 minutes, and then you need to do it in 90 minutes, right? So it says here duration is 90 minutes. It's up to 45 to 55 questions, right? So you need to know the topics. You need to really know your stuff, and you need to manage. You can't get stuck in one question for more than, let's say, 2 minutes, right? So in 90 minutes, if you're doing 45 questions, that's like roughly 2 minutes per question. Don't even take 2 questions. Don't even take 2 minutes. Try maybe in 10 seconds, 20 seconds answer and move on. Because then some questions you might need some time, so you can still keep some time at the back. Right, so let's look what are the topics. So you can click on here, exam topics. So review exam topic at the bottom, and it will tell you what are the topics. So ICND1, like we discussed ICND1, so how we are following this series, we are following the ICND1. I'm going to finish the ICND1 topics first. Once I finish that, I will start ICND2. So at the end of, let's say, 50 or 60 videos, we would complete the entire topics of CCNA. So ICND1 topic, it says operation of IP data network. So if you click on this, it will give us more information what they mean. It says recognize the purpose and function of various network devices such as routers, switches, bridges, and hubs. We did that. We discussed that. Components required to meet a network specification, we discussed that. Common applications, yes. Describe the purpose and basic operations of the protocols in the OSI and TCP models, yes, we discussed that. Predict data flow between two hosts, we did definitely discuss that. Identify appropriate media cables, ports, and connections, connectors to connect Cisco network devices. We discussed that. So that's 6%. LAN switching technologies, we discussed media access controls, broadcast domain, collision domains, ways to switch. We discussed this. Maybe some of them we did not. Service password encryption, I don't know if we did, but I will come to it. Enable secret, we discussed this. Ping, telnet, SSH, we definitely discussed that as well. So you can look through this. There are topics that you would find that we have done, and there would be topics that we haven't done. So by the time we finish, we will have everything here, right? So we did touch on DTP a little, but we will come back to a little more later. IP definitely we have not touched, so there are so many things, but we'll be starting on IP very soon. So here IP address, we discussed, operation necessity of private and public IP we did. IP version 6 we did not, we'll come back to it. Again, IP version 6, we'll come back to it. IP version 6 addresses. Routing technologies, we'll be starting from the next video, right? We'll look at some of the routing technologies and how to, so these are all routing. IP services, network device and security, I think we did this. Password security is enable versus secret, disable telnet, SSH, we did that. VTY, physical security service, right? So some of them assign VLANs, putting native VLANs other than VLAN 1, array disable, violation mode, sticky MAC address. We did discuss this. So you can go through these. You will see a lot of topics that we have done. So best thing would be to take a printout of this and keep marking as we discuss, and as we go through the entire series. You can start checking these topics so that you know what we are covering and you know what you need more to cover, right? That gives, this is how we plan for the exam. So you need to know all the topics, so topic by topic. Let's try to finish all of these, right? So this is ICND1. So we finish switching, we'll do a little bit of routing, and then we'll come back to switching, we'll do a little bit of troubleshooting, and I think we are ready for ICND1. So basically, maybe by the time we reach video 30, I think we would be ready with ICND1, and we will see how it goes. Maybe 30, 31, 32, 33. In some time, some video in that range, I think we will complete, and I will definitely let you know that you're ready for ICND1, right? At that time, what you could do is you could go do a little more practice. By the time, I think I should set up my website as well, where you will have a provision for practicing, right? And once that's done, you can schedule an exam with Pearson VUE and then get your ICND1. Once we finish ICND1, we'll come back. We'll start, obviously, I will continue my video series, but you can come back to my video series and watch the remaining videos. And then we will be following ICND2 topics then. So if you see that there is LAN switching technologies, RSTP, spanning protocols, we'll come back to it. How PVSTP, operations work, how the root bridge elections work, all these things we will look into it. We'll look into different routing protocols, OSPF, V3, V2, we'll discuss that. IP services, we'll look here. This is high availability, VRRP, HSRP, GLBP. These are topics with high availability where you have redundant routers and things like that. We will discuss all these things, but I'm just going to give you a snapshot of what's going to happen. So basically, you can go to this website. Everything is given here, and it is going to be very, very easy. Now, what I want you to do is when you watch my video, try to take notes, taking your own notes in your own handwriting. I think that's going to help you a lot. And second thing is practice. There's nothing that is going to substitute hands-on practice. Type those commands, write those commands in your notebook. Once you do that, get access to Packet Tracer or GNS3 or a real device. Practice those commands. Set up your own network. Practice, because unless you practice, you're not going to crack the Cisco exams. Cisco exams are very, very easy, provided you practice, right? So that's how you work, and that's the information that I wanted to give you in this video. And thank you so much for watching. And if you have any question, please feel free to write into me. Comment on the videos below, Again, subscribe to our channel so that you would be notified when new videos come online, and you could immediately start watching, and like us on Facebook. And thank you so much once again. Have a nice day, and we would be adding more videos very, very soon. Bye bye.